What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It is I, James, readoptionagency.com, 20 plus years selling on eBay. And puppies are outside, just let them out, so they're out there barking. But first off, man, what an overnight in sales. I guess they got the site working properly because a explosion happened. Look at that. 52 payments in the last 13 hours. So very nice. Nice little explosion. And I had also a little over 20 offers with those sales. And then also I had like a record high watchers overnight. I had 124 and I was able to send offers to them. So bam, my stuff like really took off overnight. So it's kind of surprising. Let's see. A point I want to make on this video. Let's see. I had a point this morning that I kind of want to make is, how am I going to say this? This is just kind of off the top of my head how I want to say it. But the reason my videos are so crude and simple is because my time is invested into eBay. eBay is my money. eBay is my bread and butter. eBay is what I love to do. You know, it's not like I don't enjoy putting videos out to give information, but it doesn't pay my bills and it doesn't fill, you know, my joy of what I've been doing for 20 years. So my videos are crude and simple, so I don't have to spend time on them. I don't have to edit. I spend 1 to 5 minutes making a thumbnail. If my time in videos per day is over an hour, I've failed. I put too much time into the video. Let's just say it that way, because I need to put my time into listing, growing my store, taking care of my customers, and things of that nature. I guess this is kind of stemming off all the other, the hot subject in the past week or whatever, but it's kind of shows you why I keep my videos so simple and so just crude, if you will. They're not going to be pretty. They're not going to be fancy. I am not going to spend an hour editing videos and chopping out this and chopping out that. It's all on my phone. It's all done stop and go. And it's all by using an app called Splice. I just hit all the videos, hit Splice, and it puts them together for me. Then I hit a button, upload, type in my title, copy and paste my descriptions and all that, and spend 1 to 5 minutes making my thumbnail, and I'm done. I can't make pretty videos. If I make pretty videos, I am ignoring eBay. And I cannot ignore eBay. I don't want to ignore eBay. So I try to fill in these videos as much as I can with little hits and misses of information to help. But the biggest, obviously, information I can give, the easiest and the quickest, is what has sold. So you can know over time, if you watch my videos for a month, you might see all these Cardinal hats have sold. It's the beginning of baseball season. So maybe you start grabbing baseball hats at the beginning of the season. You see what I'm saying? So you can put little things together if you're on top of it. If you're paying attention and you're really looking at my videos, it's not just what I say that you can learn from. It's watching also. So watching the trends, watching the dates. If you go back and analyze videos, you will see trends. You will see, well, why is this selling at this time? You know, and it always seems to do. You'll be able to figure things out like that. So there's more than just what I'm saying that can help you if you pay attention to the videos. So, and that is the easiest way I can do it. Would I like to be in front of the camera and do more lives and stuff like that? Sure, I would. I just don't have the time. Every once in a while, I'll get just a feeling, go, okay, I'm going to do it now. You know, if I time it, it just won't work because anything could happen at any point in any day. And I may just not feel like it. And I can't do something I don't feel like. I've never been able to fake it. If I don't feel like doing something, I'm just not going to do it. Plain and simple. That's just the way I've always been. So, and that's the way I kind of always live my life happily. I do what makes me happy. You know, I don't do it in a deceptive way or a mean way when it comes to other people and what have you. But when it comes to me personally, in my own little world, I do what makes me happy. I'm never going to be stuck in a cubicle or whatever the case may be. I always got to do what makes me happy. eBay has made me happy for 21 years. And I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize that, to let it slip away and potentially lose it. It's just not going to happen. So with that being said, I'm going to ship up these two. These were in yesterday's video, last night's video, which is you're probably watching Sunday morning. So this video you're probably watching Sunday night. So I got to get those and then we'll get to pulling because I got a lot of stuff to pull, which is awesome. So let's go. It's the babies. What's up, kiddos? Not much. Just laying around. All right. All I've got's done, gone. The CD. So for $9, headed to Los Angeles. All right, we got a Norman Rockwell collector plate. So for $9, headed to Deerfield, Illinois. Boy, if you like sequin, you missed out on this bad boy. All right, we got this hat, so for $7, headed to Amherst, New York. The one of the shoes that I missed from my original collection, the Dr. Doom foam posits. Love these shoes. These are only 11. If they were one size bigger, they would have been staying with me. These sold for $50, headed to Winter Garden, Florida. All right, another one of my Hastings CDs. So for $6, headed to Salina, Kansas. We got Madden 08 for the PS2, so for $5, headed to Florida. Quicksilver soundtrack, so for $5, headed to Minnesota. NCAA football 09 for the PS3, so for $5, headed to Florida. All right, 912. Monty Python sings. I like it when it's easy. Boom. That might be my next shirt. My boring reseller life, and on the back, I like it when it's easy. All right. People will see the back of these shirts and be like, what the hell? I like it when it's easy. What does that mean? And then, Are You Ready? This is the first one that was released. Link below, my boring reseller life shirt in black and red colorway. All right, Monty Python sings. So for $5, headed to Arkansas. Born down in a dead man's town. The first kick I took was when I hit the ground. In the back of a dog that's been beat too much. Spend half your life trying to cover it up now. Born in the USA. Owls. All right, cassette Bruce Springsteen. I remember when I couldn't give this thing away, and I have probably hundreds of them in storage. Too bad I can't get to them quick right now. But sold for $7, headed to Los Angeles. All right, I just saw a text that Adrian's going to be home in an hour to pull for me. So I think I'm just going to, my best time served right now would be go upstairs and start drafting and listing, let him pull for me, and then come back down and ship. I am glad he's still around for pulling when he's off work for a little bit. Makes life easier to keep the store growing. What up, kiddos? All right, so we shall return. Well, Adrian is an hour late because he's out shopping. He's making dinner tonight. So I figure I might as well get down and ship some more. Right, kiddos? All right, let's get to work. All right, we got a Wild Horse Saloon shirt. Sold for $7, headed to Newburgh, Indiana. All right, a cool distressed styled Fighting Illini shirt. Been in the store over 2 years. Sold for $8, headed to Champaign, Illinois. All right, we got a Dickies pocket brown shirt. My dad wore the same style of shirts, so he had so many of them, and he had some that he never wore, so I'm like, might as well sell them. So this was one that was for my dad that he ended up never wearing. Sold for $9, headed to Hampton, Virginia. Alright, we got a youth size Arizona Cardinals shirt, sold for $9, headed to California. Alrighty, another Vineyard Vines shirt. Paid $1 for this at the Honey Hole. Sold for $8, headed to Huntington Beach, California. Sold another one of those Florida Gators 4XL shirts I picked up at the bins. Sold for $8, headed to Tacoma, Washington. Alrighty, I believe this was in one of my thrifting in a Porsche videos. I got it at the Honey Hole. I think I paid $6 for it. Mopar. Sold for $19, headed to Seymour, Tennessee. Vintage Kansas City Chiefs sweatshirt. Sold for $15, headed to Indianapolis, Indiana. Alright, I just put this up yesterday. Came from my Honey Hole. Paid $1 for it. The Point, it's a St. Louis alternative radio station. Sold for $16, headed to Longwood, Florida. This was just put up recently. World Series champion, St. Louis Cardinals 2011. Sold for $10, headed to Georgia. Alright, just put this up not too long ago. As You Wish is the brand. A women's romper, new with tags, with pineapples all over it. Sold for $16, and it's headed to Maryland. I got a question. Do you watch my videos? Do you watch my yard sailing in a Porsche video? Did you? Do you remember how much I spent? $24. And I got all these albums and all those pennants. I've been forgetting to delete my old videos, so my phone shuts off when it's full. But anyway, spent $24 at the yard sale yesterday, and in 24 hours, we sold one of my favorite movies, the soundtrack to, on vinyl. Better Off Dead. Better off dead than living without you. That would be E.G. Daily, and like a one-hit wonder there. And I'm surprised the Van Halen song's not on here. I guess they didn't get permission, or wasn't allowed permission, or maybe they just didn't think about doing it. But Better Off Dead soundtrack on vinyl, sold for $70. Yeah. Biggity bam. Oh, there's another shirt. By the way, have you seen my shirts yet? My Boring Reseller Life with Are You Ready? The next one's probably going to be I Like It When It's Easy. But Biggity Bam could be another one. Ooh, I'm on a roll. All right, this is going to Cedar Park, Texas. All right, E55. Wade Hayes on a Good Night, sealed. Set. Sold for $7. And it's going to Glen Cove, New York. Sleepy kids. All right, we are going here. There we go. I like it when it's easy. All right, Adidas hat. Sold for $8. Headed to Peoria, Illinois. All right, a nice clean copy of Pat Metheny watercolors. Another one I got at the Honey Hole that was just too clean to leave behind, even for $1. I didn't care if I only got $5 out of them. They're just so clean, they got to go to a new home. You know what I mean? So, and who better than me to give them a new home? You know what I'm saying, G? What's up? Sold for $7, going to Wyoming, Michigan. All right, I like my little idea of using these as my overstock shelves when I have more than one item that I put up later on. So we makes it nice and quick and easy. George Strait, greatest hits, and you know what I say about easy? I like it when it's easy. Sold for $5. Headed to Hornbeak, Tennessee. All right, since we're on an easy streak, let's see if this next one will be easy or not. Howie. We're going to T14. We're looking for a red Nike hat. Oh, I think it's out of the realm of being easy. We've already passed that marker. Just a little bit past the marker of being easy. Oh, and now I'm tripping. I be tripping, y'all. Stuff be falling. I be tripping. All right, Nike hat sold for $10. Headed to Tucson, Arizona. All right, we got this little brass-colored coffee box here. Sold for $9. Headed to Sparta, Wisconsin. Are you ready for a tattoo flash art lot? Yeah. All right, two of my flash art. I don't think I did any. I didn't give any tattoos off of this one. I don't think so. Or this one. Nope. Both of them together sold for $17.50, and they're going to Mountain Grove, Minnesota. Adrian's here helping me, and he's over on the new computer, pulling stuff in that room and along that wall. And then I'm here, hitting that room around me and my spot here. So, pretty convenient little computer there. Two people can work at the same time. Very spiffy. All right, we've got this Gateway International Raceway here in St. Louis, which is now called Bommarito, I think, or something. I don't know if it's still called Gateway or not. I know Bommarito sponsors it, so I think they changed the name too. So for $8, headed to New Wellington, Pennsylvania. Story time with James. Gateway International. I don't know if it was called that when I was a kid. I'm not sure, because it wasn't as big as it is now. It wasn't the whole oval track. It was more like a smaller drag racing track and what have you. But my brother used to go over there, and I'd go over there with him as a kid. And I remember it was kind of like my first job. I loved cars, but it kind of bored me. And so somebody who works with the track, or the owner or something, would pay me to just walk around and clean up trash. So I walked around and cleaned up trash while my brother was at the races doing whatever he did. I don't remember what he did, because I don't remember sitting by him. So I don't know if he was involved somehow or something. I'm not sure. Wish I could ask him. Now I'm thinking about this. But the track owner or somebody there would pay me to pick up trash. And then when I was done, I got enough money, and Brucey and I would stop someplace on the way home, and I'd buy some Hot Wheels with it. So anyway, that's my story. Story time with James. All right, Glacier National Park, a park I have not been to yet. Sold for $10, headed to Pennsylvania. All right, Brimfield, Mass, or I'm guessing Massachusetts. Hat sold for $6. Goldsboro, North Carolina is where it's headed. Florida Gators, are they doing something special? Because I've been selling the shirts and not a hat. Sold for $6, headed to Houston, Texas. Alrighty, going to Waban, Massachusetts. We got Oracle Computer Software Company. Sold for $10. All right, Camouflage Miller Lite hat, headed to Maine. Duh, I had to think. Sold for $9. So just like yesterday, I got 2 negative feedbacks. I'm like, what? And this guy, all he did was leave an emoji. I'm like, how is that right? And I checked it, and the item's not even delivered yet, right? So I'm like, what the hell? You know, so I put in to have it revised, and they said they couldn't revise it. I'm like, why not? It ain't delivered. Not saying anything. I'm like, what's going on? And like I told you in other videos, always contact the seller if there's an issue. Kind of educate anybody who looks in the feedback system. I said, I see your item still in transit at your local post office, because it just hit his area. Medium mail can take up to 15 days, blah, blah. We'll reach out to buyer. So I reached out to him, of course. That's been 3 days now, has not responded back. So I called eBay and said, well, why can't this be removed? And they go, well, he emailed you wanting to cancel the order after you shipped it. I'm like, well, I didn't answer it. And they're like, no. So I looked for the email, and there it was. And he emailed me after he ordered it to cancel it, after it was actually even shipped. And they said, I guess based on that, they couldn't get rid of the feedback. I'm like, well, that stinks. So I reached out to him and said, hey, I got free returns. You can open it up, or send it back, no problems. But of course, he hasn't responded. This one, I know it was well used, but the condition of the hat was much worse than other purchases. I do think the price was fair. So I ran that one through, and they declined to remove that one too. I always do all of them just in case. But of course, I did my diligence on my side too. Always contact the seller if you're unhappy with the purchase. Most of us have been doing this for 20 plus years. So I put that in there to make it show that, I've got experience. So if people don't look at all the details of different things, this shows I got experience, been doing this for a long time. I usually put full time in there too, or as a living. Guaranteed everything, have free returns, will reach out to the buyer to fix the situation, which I did. And he emailed me back and he said, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you would get the message. You wouldn't go on your feedback. So if you can see, most of my negative feedbacks in the past are always by low number. Buyers. So a couple of bigger ones there. 1960, 129, 71, 24. So it's usually always mostly, there's some bigger numbers there, but overall it's usually bigger or smaller numbers that just don't know what they're doing exactly. So I try to help inform them along the way also. So he actually apologized, thought it was going to be like an email to me and not a mark on my account. So I said, would you like to return it for free, or I can give you a small refund, just to make it, trying to appease the buyer. And he said, no, I should have looked at the pictures. It's my fault. I'm like, okay, do you mind if I send you a revised revision request? And, right after I sent that, I went ahead and sent the revised request, and we'll see if he changes it or not, or responds back. So that one may be coming off, but kind of stinks that one don't. And she even admitted on the phone when I called her that they were having issues with the emails, not all the emails coming through. So I'm like, well, because I usually answer everything. So I'm like, unless it's like something stupid goofy, which some of those, if you're a seller, you know what I'm talking about. Will you take $1 for this with free shipping? Don't answer. But anyway, he pulled a little bit more for me, so I'm going to get finishing the rest of that. But I wanted to cover that just as like a feedback lesson on, just what I do and trying to fix every situation. If you show you're trying to fix every situation, then it shouldn't hurt you in future sales. Not too many people really look at feedback anymore either, especially the way the store is set up now, which I thoroughly enjoy that part of the store layout. The rest of it I'm not a fan of, like this. I wish all the categories would just automatically show up here, but unfortunately you have to go all the way down first, hit here, and then they pop up over here. So I wish this was the first page again like it used to be. But I do love this, where it doesn't show your feedback. It just shows how many items you sold, shows your percentage, and how many followers you have. So it's a little bit more satisfying, I would say, to a buyer to see that information than to have to go through negatives and try to, because every once in a while, if you're a seller, you've had them where you could have 99.9% feedback and somebody will email and go, yeah, I see you get a lot of feedback, a lot of negative feedback. I'm like, I've got over 200,000 positives and I have 50 negatives. That's not really a lot of negatives if you think so. So you always get those kind of people, but let's get the rest of this. Looks like we got a couple of lots here too. So this item I probably should have looked up. I got it the honey hole, but it was $2. And I just grabbed it just because I thought it was more up to date. It was interesting, and I wanted to kind of see it myself, basically, and see what it means or see how the game works. But it only sold for $7. Going to Jackman, Maine. Being that went to Maine, that one cost me. So I actually lost money on that. That's what I get for not looking it up and was more curious than worried about the money I was going to make. So shipping was $13. I charged 11. So I probably technically lost money on that after fees. Wah, wah, wah. Well, hey, at least I haven't said that in many, many years. So I just got to make sure it doesn't stay as a trend. All right, next up, what do we got? All right, we got, are you ready for a vinyl live? Yeah. All right, we've got 2 pieces of vinyl I paid separately. So we got this one, Country and Western Top Hits of '66. That one sold for $6. And then we've got, okay, where am I at? There we go. And then we've got All American Country Collection sealed, sold for $9. And they are going to Germany. Oh, now I think about it. Actually, I don't think I paid $2 for those cards because they were in that. I got a whole cart for $30. So if I average it all out, it was probably like 50 cents an item, if that, on that lot. So I'm sure I didn't make any money, but at least it didn't cost me as much as I thought it did. So never mind. All right, next up, Ronnie Millsap, Greatest Hits, sold for $5, headed to Tiffin, Ohio. So, are you ready for a cassette lot? Yeah. We got 22 cassette singles going to San Diego, California. Took advantage of my clearance, buy more than 2, get 50% off. Plus, he threw some other items or other dollar values in there, also some $5 and $6 ones. So 22 of them sold for $86. So we'll go through these real quick. Let's see what we got. After 7, In Vogue, Michael, After 7, Rosie, Lanier, Paula, Annie, Shy, SWB, Shanice, Natural, Paula, Madonna, Whitney, and Shanice. Boom. I got to count and make sure Adrian pulled them for me, so I got to double check to make sure they're all there. 22 cassettes, $86. We got, are you ready for a cassette line? Yeah. Going to Des Moines, Iowa. We got 8 cassettes sold for $20. Took advantage of my clearance, buy 2 or more, get 50% off. And we've got the great Extreme Porno Graffiti album. Love this album. This was one of 5 of the first CDs I ever bought. I remember getting the CD player, going into Record Exchange. I got Extreme Porno Graffiti on CD. I got Poison, Flesh and Blood. I got Megadeth, Rest in Peace. Rust in Peace, I should say. I'm thinking Judas Priest, Painkiller. And I forget what the 5th one is. Totally do. Anyway, Queensryche Empire, great album. Storytime with James. Back then I was dating this girl, Christine. And the basement at my parents' house where I stayed and had all my stuff was broken into. And the disc in the player that was stolen was Queensryche Empire, and that was her CD. And I was working in the music store at the time, and I just remember her, you better replace my CD. She didn't have no concern that I was just robbed and all my stuff was robbed. All she was concerned about was getting her CD back. I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of selfish. Of course I'm going to get your CD, but man, no remorse for me losing all my stuff, and you got one, and she had the case, you just missing the disc. I mean, come on. But anyway, I just thought that was probably the first thing that happened in that relationship that made me go, yeah, this is not going to last. Wang Chung said many times we wore this album out consistently. Platoon soundtrack, NXS, Def Leppard Adrenalize, great cassette, and the first Extreme album. All right, my sinuses are just killing me today. All right, we got this Latin CD. Sold for $7, headed to Houston, Texas. I just put this up today, and I knew I was putting it up a little light in price. But I'm like, maybe it'll sell quick, because it's probably been in my storage area for 2, 3, 4, who knows, 7 years. Who never know. But we got the San Francisco Giants, Majestic, Barry Bonds jersey, even with a little yellowing right there. So I listed it, and it sold within like 15 minutes, and sold for $40, and it's going to West Plains, Missouri. I think that's what I like about having like 5 storage areas with stuff that's been sitting for 20 years, 1 to 20 years. Because if there's something good in there, I can go, let's see if it'll sell quick, and give it somebody a good deal and make some good money just real quick. So if I'm having a bad day in sales, got plenty of stuff to feed that fire. And if I'm having a good day, just plenty of stuff to add to the day. So that's the way I kind of looked at that Bonds jersey. But I love it when stuff like this sells, that there's probably like 500 plus of these, if not 1,000 up on eBay, and somebody bought mine for $5 instead of paying one of those companies that have 30 of them in stock and are selling them for like $3 shipped, and the quality is going to be pretty crappy. But anyway, $5 going to another one, Wyoming, Michigan. This just sold, so I wonder if that same person came back in and bought another item, or if I'm just sending 2 items to Wyoming, Michigan today, because that's kind of confusing. Wyoming, Michigan, Wyoming, Michigan. Huh. All right, last thing for this video. I get these 2 questions the most. Do I charge shipping? Yes, shipping's on everything. And what do I send my hats in? 8x6x4 boxes. I do not use poly bags because they crush hats. So those are the 2 most answered questions. So I think I'm going to have to start saying that in every video. Especially if I keep getting a lot more new viewers. And if you are new, thank you. And of course, if you're OG or anything in between, bam, you rock. Don't forget to buy one of my shirts. Link below. My Boring Reseller Life. Are you ready for a new shirt? Yeah. All right. Last item for this video, we've got Edema. Insomniac's Dream, sealed on CD, headed up to Canada, and it sold for $28. Biggity bam. All right, thanks everybody for watching. And Burns upstairs because they're making food, so he's praying something falls to the floor for him. Baby girl's here with me though, so we are out, and we shall see you in the next video later on.